Hi there, it's Riikka Kovasin here with a video for ABstudio. This time I'm making a couple of cards. I'm using the Spring Lady collection in these and mix up some of different designs from that collection to my cards. I'm also adding some chipboard elements and stencils. I chose to use this tiny floral pattern as my background, and first I'm choosing which way to go. So I have this pale blue and kind of a jeans blue tone of just solid cardstock, and I'm choosing which one to use for the card bases and which one to use kind of for a framing or a mounting piece. And then I cut the required pieces out of the cardstock and the pattern paper. I chose to use the lighter color as the card base and the darker blue tone for the frame. And the pattern paper sheet I'm using as the background is called Blue Velvet from the Spring Lady collection. After I have the pieces cut, I then mount the pattern paper on top of the frame piece and then start thinking about the embellishments. I'm first coating these chipboard window pieces with crackle paste, white crackle paste, and I'm also making some vellum leaves using white embossing powder and some ABstudio stamps. When I then have the embellishments done, I also cut the elements out of the 12 by 12 sheets, these florals and leaves I'm going to use. I then start making the composition. The flowers I'm using are from Many Kisses and the leaves are from Breath of Spring. You can see the materials list in the description box. As you can see, I cut the window part in half and use other of the shutters on top of the window because otherwise it would be too wide for my cards. I'm using that as the first element and then gathering the plants and leaves around it. But first I felt that the background needed a little bit more texture, so I pulled up two ABstudio stencils. First I'm using watercolors through this leaf stencil, and then I'm adding some script on top using another stencil and the white crackle paste. It's kind of bringing all those elements together using the same mediums in a variety of ways. Then it's time to start the actual composition. I'm first adhering the windows in place, and then the biggest element, those are the vellum leaves. So they go as the bottom layer, and then I'm building partly dimensional layers on top using foam tape as the adhesive to mount the flowers in. I'm first making the other card and then repeating the process to the other one. When I then have the compositions done, I'm adding a little word label on top, like a sentiment to both cards. I'm using Finnish this time. The other label says today is good and the other one everything nice. Those are loosely translated from the Finnish phrases. I then mount the cards on top of the card bases and add a little touch of watercolor to each. This is how I make the die cut elements kind of my own. So there's just a teeny tiny touch of medium on top, and also that ties in the background layer and the foreground. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little card video, and I'll be seeing you next month with a new process video for ABstudio. Thank you. Bye.